Hey, bro, live.
Let's go.
Ugly victory. We got the dub. That's great. We got the disco shirt, sweater still as it's going.
Yes, right.
And Quentin Johnston is still struggling to catch balls, but he did better today.
Yeah.
Lot to discuss about that, guys. And guys, these are the wide receivers drafted after Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to say about all of that. So, guys, we're going to get into it.
I'm Deion Henley. You watching the Boat Bros podcast? Let's do it!
Nice.
Yeah.
All righty. People going to be piling in.
Boat Bros in the house.
We here.
That's right. We are here. Win is a win. It was ugly. It was very ugly. We'll take it.
Charge!
Yeah, right. Jeez Louise. I mean, it was an ugly game in the sense of weather, score, everything.
Yep.
Like the one thing, and I'm going to give just a quick, and I know I chatted with you guys briefly on the text message during the game, but it was literally one play away from basically being a win and a loss. And it literally was that. Like, the Patriots,
that touchdown there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Patriots basically had a chance to take this one away late in the game, and we were just letting it happen pretty much.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Boy.
literally, that Dean Leonard, what was it? The Dean Leonard play on,
Oh, yeah.
what did I write down?
The PI?
No. The Dean Leonard, where they threw a deep pass to Dean Leonard on coverage. Oh man, I don't remember who caught the ball. Caught it, landed on Dean, but then got him out of bounds. And that was like totally in the red zone or whatnot. That could have been completely the game at that point. It would have been.
Adrian, funny play on words on this here. Ugly win, but I'll take it so hard. Okay.
Oh yeah. When he caught that ball and he stepped out of bounds of the catch,
I can't remember who it was. But
Parker, I think his name Parker.
Devontae Parker. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
When
I saw that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be interested to know the stat of how many balls got thrown Dean Leonard's way. I swear it would have been probably every throw. I swear it was every throw.
Yeah,
they were picking on him for sure. Yeah, they're picking on him.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's we could review the stats if you want, or should we just go through the slides a little more here? Because we could do a little both.
I don't think there's much stats to look at, to be honest.
I
mean, we could say defensively there's some good stats.
Yeah.
Offensively there is, not a whole heck of a lot.
But we got let's talk about Quentin. He had a bit of a he had a bit of a bounce back game. At least hey. He caught a few balls, and again, we could go back on this. Caught a few balls. That sounded really funny the way I said.
Caught some balls. Okay.
Caught some balls. What's up? Okay, but again, everyone's talking about Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison.
Right.
This is hilarious. He had a backpack for a while there. I thought that was pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah, is that Yoda up on his back right there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that Yoda?
Dude,
so hilarious to me.
The whole thing about that play, though, that player jumped on his back like a koala bear, and it looked like Quentin Johnston was just walking around with him on his back, like, "Hey, dude, get off me!" But when I saw that and I sent it to you guys, I was like, "Hey, look, that's showing how strong this dude is. Like that dude literally jumped on his back and didn't even pull him down. It was crazy.
Didn't do anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no turnovers as well, dude, guys, and Megan Fox, Morgan Cox. There we go. I like that.
Yeah, how many sacks did we have this game?
We had a lot. Yeah, that was kind of part of what I was saying here. Well, I can show you guys the stats real quick, and we just do something real fast here.
Just pull it up here real quick. Yeah.
Take 2 seconds here. I mean, literally, it's not like exciting stats, but again, horrible passing yards. Actually, we get 200 yards passing.
29 rushing yards.
So bad, guys.
Look, I mean, I know there's a lot of people, and once again,
5 sacks.
I am really jumping off of the Kellen Moore bandwagon because we're not really getting what we need out of this offense by any means. We're playing on their level. We're not getting a run game by any means. That jet sweep with Austin Eckler versus putting in Darius Davis.
Yep.
That made my head explode. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I mean, it was really, really bad. I don't know. There's just little things that they just schematically does that just does not seem like it puts this team in the right position, right players to be able to get the right situation. And it's just frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like seeing Derwin James with this many tackles as well, too, right? You know?
Yeah. It's always too much of a problem for him to get those tackles, you know? It's like that means that the ball's getting kind of deep, you know?
Yep.
Balls deep.
Well, he's also playing at the line, too. He's been playing at the line a lot more.
Yeah,
so
well,
that's good.
I mean, that was a critical sack that he got today. That's for sure.
Big time. That was a very, very timely sack for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Herbert had, let's see. So Herbert had 212 yards total. Okay. But, you know, Keenan Allen was 5 for 58. Quentin Johnston was 5 for 52. So,
yeah.
And then Gerald Everett was 4 for 44. So that was pretty good, right? So, and by the way, Alex Erickson, props to him, dude. Icing that game. Oh, bro. Dude, I'm a fan of that guy, you know. And, dude, we're going to talk about Khalil Mack as well, too, for sure, guys. But again, Quentin, you know, look at the drops. Look at the precipitation. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly slippery out there.
Caution,
guys, so
slippery when wet.
Yeah, no joke. No joke.
You know, but Eckler didn't have a great game. Man, he looks off, guys. Let's talk about Eckler for a second, guys. What do you think in the chat? He looks off.
Yeah,
like
so bad.
Off.
So bad. He clearly he doesn't care about his $2 million incentive.
Well, and then we let Elijah Dotson go this week, which made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Why'd we let Elijah Dotson go, especially when Eckler's been horrible? By the way, I thought Kelly was way better this game.
Well, and then you also inactive Isaiah Spiller too. Like,
you
know, I mean, this was a game where you're going to need to run the ball a bit, and you're going to need to have those 3 running backs to be ready for the game. Dude, if Austin Eckler's out, okay, then if he goes out, then it's Kelly. Who's going to be the running back if Kelly gets injured?
Exactly, right? Like, what's happening? Yeah.
Dude, what is going on here? I mean, Steven Anderson was, I believe, elevated for this game too, but I never saw him on the field once. Like, you know, Stone Smart. I didn't even see Stone Smart out there. Parham wasn't doing anything. I mean, it was a really odd move in that sense. Glad it didn't go that direction to where who the heck is going to be the running back at that point.
Right. So weird to me. So
strange. Weird. Really strange.
Yeah. This guy balled out though. Everett. Yeah. Everett.
He had a great game.
Yeah. We got to re-sign this guy, dude.
I love it.
We got to re-sign him. You know,
look at that photo. How Belichick's just staring at him. He's like, "Do I want him as my tight end next year?"
Yeah.
What he looks like he's saying.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do I want to coach this team next year?" Okay.
Yeah. But okay. What about special teams, though, man? J.K. Scott,
dude,
killed it. Looked amazing.
He had 3 punts. Basically in the under 10 yards. He had one at 10 or 7 and one I think at 9 and then one at 1 yard.
So he punted the ball 368 yards.
Jeez.
That's freaking nuts, dude. And he had 7 punts in the 20-yard line.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's amazing, guys. He's going to get a game ball for sure.
Heck
100%. Yeah, I mean, you know, and Darius Davis.
Dicker's the only other person that's going to get the game ball because he's the only other person that scored.
For sure.
Well, I would assume Khalil Mack. I would assume that the defense, because I mean, Staley's always going to give his shot out to his dudes. I mean, you know, we'll talk about Khalil Mack a little bit more and kind of the stats that he got and everything. But yes, special teams wise, it was crazy. Now these, and I kept sending these photos over to you guys.
I know. We're like, oh my God, what are we doing here?
What are you doing?
Way too much space. Look at that, bro.
Get the first down up top. You see Dean Leonard moving to the right. He's going to go behind the first down marker. You got one guy 1 yard from the first down marker. It's just like, dude, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? It's frustrating. Now, once again, a lot of these plays didn't end up in sacks. If you look at it right now, you could say there's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man rush potentially going on there. So, you know, at least they put pressure at the right times, and it seemed like they hit a lot with those pressures on 4th and 5s and 3rd and longs.
Yeah,
I'm curious if Derek Ainsley called the plays. You know, they showed a lot of him on the sideline.
Yeah,
I don't think he did, but it did look like, I don't know. I didn't seem like Brandon Staley was calling as many plays. He seemed a little more like he was actually being a head coach, which I thought was good. I don't know.
Well, and the one thing too, and maybe they are a subscriber to the Bolt Bros and
I've heard the Bolt Bros. Tell me more about them. They seem cool.
We've been talking about, hey, look, blitz more.
Yeah.
And guess what? They blitz.
Look what happens.
Yeah. It changed. And so, look, that's a big thing to be able to see. Now, once again, it'd be interesting to see like Brandon Staley with this game. I mean, this game was literally going to be a win or a loss based upon one play in this game. And the Patriots had all the momentum to make it happen. But, once again, the big quality part of it is they blitzed and they actually got sacks. They got pressures. Yep. That's what you should be doing to a quarterback like Bailey Zappi.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Rookie quarterback, kind of green around the edges, get in his face.
Get after him.
By the way, the Broncos are driving right now. Like 23 seconds left.
Stop.
Boy, they're driving, guys. Yeah.
And by the way, guys, that is that you kind of want the Broncos to win, because the thing is, though, the Texans are the ones that are sitting kind of in the outside position too for the playoffs. So if we're going to talk anything about playoffs, you want the Broncos to win. We play the Broncos twice this year.
Yeah, we got to beat them both. We got to beat them both times.
Beat them both times. And so we really kind of want that to happen. Titans are with the ball on the Titans, 21 minute left in the game, 25-25 right now too. You want the Colts to lose. So
yeah, we want the Colts to lose for sure.
Pretty big, guys. So
dude, it's amazing. Yeah, you know what? This has been such a weird football year too, guys. It's just been crazy. And guys, again, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. But again, let's talk about the defense. Again, we're playing pretty soft. This is pretty soft, guys, and it just really frustrates me. But boy, Khalil Mack looking like a savage again, dude. Oh my God, bro.
Hell yeah.
2 sacks. So what is that?
8 tackles for a loss in total.
Yeah.
For the whole team.
Yeah. So Derwin James got a sack. Eric Kendricks got a sack too. And Justin Hollins. Hollins got one, which I thought was amazing too.
Mack got 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah, and Mack has 2 sacks in the last 3 games. Yeah. And now with what he got with those 2 sacks, he is a half sack away from having 100 sacks in his career.
100%.
That's amazing to see. Like, I mean, guys, a 32-year-old guy out there just doing it like this. I mean, return of the Mac, getting them sacks. Return of the Mac, getting them sacks. It's great to watch. It's great to watch.
Getting them sacks. Tuli's still looking good out there, man. We've got the Bolt Babes here. Hey, how we doing, guys? Again, 30 questions out. We're almost done with the slideshow portion of the post-game show. So, but 30 questions out. Tuli's looking good as well, as per usual. And look, the team has the talent, right? It's just the execution has been just a bit off. And again, it's funny. Oh shit.
Oh, Mr.
He threw a pick. He threw a pick.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
The end of the Bronco game.
The Texans won. Wow, guys. Wow.
Wowzers.
Wow. Woof. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, guys. And let's talk about Herbert a little bit, dude. Guys, I don't think Herbert's struggling. I think, this game, he has not looked amazing.
No.
But I don't think that I kind of feel like, I don't know. Do you think it's a communication issue? Do you think it's a trust issue? They're doubling Allen now for the most part, right? So it's a little tough. But
he's pretty much our only capable receiver on the on the offense right now. So I mean, and I've heard that like the defensive scheme requires a ton of communication. And that's really hard to do on the defense, because that's when the defense gets, the crowd gets loud and stuff, So, I mean, I just don't see. That's why I think we actually tend to do better on away games than we do at home games, because the crowd gets loud during defense. So what are we doing here?
Yeah. And the one thing I'll say about Herbert, I'm sorry about that, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing about it is one, I think that he doesn't have continuity of wide receivers. I think, 2, obviously you could say the finger issue a little bit too. I think at this point it's probably not much of an issue, but there is a lot of people dropping the ball too. That's the whole thing. And, I think when you get Palmer back, we'll see where that goes. I mean, Brandon Staley kind of really didn't put any timetable on that at all.
Sucks. Scary.
But, the big positive of it is, once again, shout out to Quentin Johnston in this game. I mean, he essentially, you're starting to see continuity with him. Now they're starting to see their cohesiveness going on with him. Maybe he's going to have the next 5 games where he's just going to be lighting it up. And then we're going to be like, okay, we got that dude now. Now we don't feel bad about him. Now that's good to see, I mean, I will say, if we have Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Palmer next year, we'll see what happens with Mike Williams. I mean, we just had all those guys on the field. It would be a fun offense. It'd be a really, really fun offense.
Yeah, definitely. And, there's just a lot to say. And again, guys, you do have to give it up. The defense looked pretty good, right? I mean, Leonard got burned a lot. They were picking on him 100%. He was the guy. Yeah. Wherever 33 went, they wanted to throw the ball that direction. And so, but, he did okay. You got to ask yourself this question: would Mike Davis do better? I don't know. I was really excited to see Jackson not get that pick off QJ. I thought he was going to get that pick. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, wow. He looked like he was talking a little bit after that breakup too. I think he was jawing a little bit. So I did not want to see that happen.
No. But again,
so it looks like Dean Leonard was targeted three times that actually equated for one of the top 10 longest plays again for the Patriots.
So the explosive plays.
Yeah, three of the top 10 explosive plays were against Dean Leonard.
Well, I wouldn't throw to Asante Samuel. What's the point of that? No point. He's your best corner, so why throw to him?
Yeah. He had two of the best, the top most explosive plays were thrown to him as well.
Oh, seriously? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, they all got kind of picked off, but I mean, we're talking, Dean Leonard had a lot more given up. I'm looking at the game book here. Yeah. So. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think, but bottom line though, there is some good to discuss, right? I think, hey, we got a W, no matter what. 30 questions out, guys.
Take it.
Yeah, 30 questions out. This is good, Larry. I like what Herbert did instead of going into the go route like Keenan Allen, but guess what? He was able to spread the football around with the guys. I agree, right? You need guys to all be involved. Man, I just feel like Eckler's it's weird. He looks slow. He looks confused. I don't know. It's weird, man. Yeah, and Denver did lose guys as well, too, which is, depending on how you look at it, good, bad, all the above, right? So we got to beat Denver twice.
Exactly.
Now, I will say this. He's new. He's fast. Derwin James said that Dean Leonard's actually one of the fastest guys on the defense. So, but he needs to execute better, right? He needs to position his body better. There's things he needs to do better. So, and I think Lindsey's probably done for his career. And Eckler does look washed. It's kind of crazy.
It's funny about how you guys brought up that question, how Gordon Block brought that question up about, Lindsey. I was kind of looking at, all right, who's going to be the top centers in the draft? That point, we got to look at it. Cedric Van Pran out from Georgia, you'd get possibly a top tier center. He's ranked number 1 right now. Jackson Power Johnson from Oregon is another guy that's up there. That's considered a 3rd round pick at this point. Bo Limmer, I think he's from Arkansas. There's another guy. So, that's a position of need that we have to choose this upcoming year. And I want a nasty dude. I want a guy that's really, really aggressive, like a very aggressive guy. It sounds like the center from Georgia will be a pretty good choice. So either way, hey, we got season ahead of us still, guys, but I was just inquiring a little bit about it.
Yeah. So Andrew was at church. Good for you. Good for you. You need some Jesus in your life. If that's the church you went to or wherever, but that's good. So good to have you there. That's awesome. But, we'll just give you the highlights here, Andrew. No big deal. And we definitely need a running back. Goomba. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey, what's up, Goomba?
Yeah. And again, I think they're going to trade Bosa if I had to make a choice, but who knows?
Here's the thing though. If Tom Telesco's still GM for some crazy reason why, he's not going to trade anybody. He doesn't make trades really, it's just, sure, he might do some things in free agency, but he's not really a trade kind of guy,
Yeah. He tends to not do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, Chargers don't have any home games.
Yeah, we do.
No,
we totally got home games.
We're just saying like not a lot of Charger fans show up, But honestly, to be fair, the last couple games it was pretty much just all Charger fans. I thought.
Yeah. It's pretty like even to go back to San Diego when I was a season ticket holder, I really felt like it was still about the same ratio. Now, like I feel it's like a 60-40-ish, either which way, pretty much. So I mean, it's about the same in my opinion. Like, I think they got a fair amount of fans out there in LA.
Yeah. I mean, and it's growing every single year. Tailgate is getting bigger and bigger. Thunder Alley's starting to expand a little bit. It's freaking. Yeah. It's doing really well. Like the tailgate's awesome. So
tailgate I don't know. Is awesome.
Yeah. So
tailgate really lanes out of the tailgate now. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah.
To do what? Say again.
Got 3 lanes at Thunder Alley too, so
that's what it feels like. Yeah, it's like it's so wild,
It's wild to see.
No, it's good stuff. Let's see. I really do hope we get rid of Telesco. 11 years, guys. He's been with us 11 years. At this point, it's kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yep. And again, we need Mike Williams. He's good, but man, he's just always hurt. He was hurt last year.
Yeah.
He
was hurt his rookie year too, I kind of really just kind of set the tone for what his career is going to be. Just injury after injury after injury. And I love the guy, but damn, man, just freaking
stay.
I don't know, man. Eat those shark cartilage pills or something like that, Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Are you condoning what is it? Shark fin harvesting, Kyle?
What's going on here?
I mean, hey, if that wins us some ball games, I damn right well am.
Super Bowl, I guess I am.
Damn right I am.
Go to China. Go
screw sharks. I hate sharks. Screw them. But dolphins, no, man. Don't be messing with no dolphins, though.
Yeah, man, we got beef going on in the chat over here, dude.
I know
that's crazy.
People in there like really negative. I mean, honestly, they have every reason to be negative about this team. Like, look, here I was gonna say this too. It's like, we won the game 6-0 against one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. Like the Patriots are trash. And we could not get our offense off the ground. We were just scoring field goals. What is this? Like what? Why? I mean, okay, maybe you can say the weather. Weather was a big cause about that. I mean, but dude, why are we putting 6 on the Patriots?
6.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is like I was saying is like this literally was a game where one play could have made the biggest difference. Like that. Time. That one throw late in the game that Dean Leonard basically barely got him out of bounds by inches. That could have been easily a touchdown. Patriots would have won 7-6 right at this point. It's just it's frustrating because the thing is though, like the Chargers always find ways to be able to play at their opponent's level. They don't play at their level. Like we were obviously a much more talented team all around. We should be scoring a lot of touchdowns on there. What's crazy stat about this too is that this is the first time we won there since like 2005 or something like that. Like in Foxborough. I mean, it wasn't easy for anybody to go into Foxborough when Tom Brady was a quarterback. It was just impossible. I mean, I could imagine some of those games and Boston fans in general to all their sports team are pretty cocky in general.
Sure.
I'm sure they're probably saying this is wicked awesome that we're, going to the Super Bowl again, guys. It's wicked awesome, Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Super wicked awesome. It's cold in the hammer.
I did call the defense today, Aether. Yes, they called me up. And actually, I do think that I kind of felt like it almost seemed like Derek Ainsley was calling some plays. I don't know. He seemed a little more connected too.
Yeah. So did Brandon Staley finally hand over the play calling responsibility?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to ask him again.
Yeah. Please. First question, Brandon, did you make all those play calls, or was that Derek Ainsley?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
good question. Well, John Spanos is the VP, right? So, and he and Telesco are buddies, so
the water cooler guys.
Water cooler guys, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and then John's just a clown. You know, he seems like a lame owner, anyways. You know, whatever.
You know, and it's funny. I've been having a lot of conversation about this whole thing about the ownership of this team, and you know, like personally, I want them to show that they care about their product, and their business. Like, you know, I mean, this offseason is going to be an interesting one. Now, once again, we're not in an offseason. We're still kind of in a playoff run. If you guys want to look at that, but you know, it's a hard road ahead, essentially, for this team. And so the whole thing about it is that I want this organization to realize you got a multiple billion-dollar based franchise. You need to be able to treat it accordingly and get the right people in the right place, right management level. You need to find a way to make that happen. And so I'm not saying that Brandon Staley's over with, but I mean, at the same side, his defense ain't getting any better, and that goes squarely on his shoulders, basically.
Well, last 2 games have been good, but the offense
been good.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's going to say to save his job, no matter what, right? He's not going to say, "Well, as a team lost, like our offense sucked," and you know, actually, the rumor is that Kellen Moore is already going to be the head coach for the Panthers. It's already a lock that he's going to be the guy. So maybe that's why they haven't elevated Kellen Moore to head coach at this point. Because what's the point? You know, he's just going to go away anyways. But I don't know. You never know.
Never know.
Is that how our offense responds to one of the worst teams in the NFL? I know it's frustrating, but dude, like a lot of drop balls too, man. I mean, it wasn't just on Herbert, you know, and there's a few bad throws he had as well, but yeah, you know, and by the way, our offensive line is 30th in the NFL.
Yeah.
We're horrible at run blocking and horrible at pass protection. The only reason why Herbert's not sacked a ton is because he uses his legs and gets out of the pocket. He maneuvers the pockets well. So it's frustrating to see.
Well, and the thing too about this offense, and you know, I was kind of watching a lot of the offense, just how it operates a little bit more from the player level to whatever level. I mean, first off, there's so many 3 and outs. We started out a game once again with another 3 and out. And the second drive, another 3 and out. Like, I get it. Drop balls happen in a game, especially when it's wet like that. I get it. But just the team in general, like I feel like Quentin Johnston was not understanding like snap counts or something too. He just seemed a little bit off the line, very slow in comparison to the other guys. I mean, it's milliseconds difference between, you know, Guyton and Allen or whatnot getting off the ball, but that millisecond makes a big difference of how you're going to have your route developed. And so there's just little things that I think that just need to get situated. And you know, the offensive line, I always feel like it's so much pushed around like so easily. Yeah. And I mean, it's really just that core, like cornerstone to the line where you don't have a good center, a center that could really move people around. It just makes a world of difference of how that line operates.
Yeah, and I wasn't a huge fan of Kellen Moore's play calling, but you know, he was conservative, right? The ball was wet, you know. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It's a pretty interesting situation. Yeah, they'll probably trade Williams, I would think, you know, if they do, you know, you can get something for him, right? But he's also got what, a $38 million.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not talk more about that. But yeah, that's the rumor that he's going to go to Carolina.
The problem is too, like with Williams, is that like if we let him go, we still have all this dead cap that we have to pay him still. So it's like we really just like all these contracts that we made with all those players that are like getting paid a lot. Yeah, we still have to pay them a lot. Like even if they leave, you know. So
yeah, it's interesting because if you look on like sporttrack.com with the potential, they have a potential out in 2024. So essentially it was like a 2-year contract, and then 2024 is a potential out to it, but it leaves $12.46 million dead cap. But then it like looks like it kind of does give a little bit of cash free at that point to let them go. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So there is a chance that you kind of potentially have a little bit more added to the whole, you know, salary cap situation, which is an absolute mess next year. So
yeah, it's a mess next year, guys. It's gonna be ugly, dude. It just will. You know, Dan just said this. He said, why would they keep Williams? He seems to miss more games than he plays. It's true. I mean, that's my point on it, right? I mean, you know, and Bosa, you say the same thing about Bosa, right? So, and they're both get a ton, you know,
right? Best player is your availability. Like if you need to be available to be able to play. So
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is that you don't want money sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, he has not stopped. Andrew, they say in the mix, Ben Johnson, number 1. For Carolina? Boy, why would you want to go there? Or come to, where he could have Justin Herbert and, some actual real talent, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Carolina, I'm sure it's got some good players, but that alone organization is a dumpster fire, right? Tepper's a weirdo. Yeah. And, you think the Spanos family's bad. Good God, Tepper's just a freaking idiot, dude.
Yeah, and he's
one
of
I'm just saying, yeah.
And he's one of the richest owners, too, in the NFL. Yeah. Once again, he's just spending money, with Matt Rule and giving him, a 7-year contract or something stupid as a head coach and then firing him after, I think, a year and a half or something like that. The dude's still getting paid from Nebraska currently, too. Yeah. So,
isn't it crazy?
Guys, double dipping, man. Being a head coach in the NFL is one of the greatest jobs ever. Yep. You get guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
Even if you're there or you're not. Like, you're getting that money still. Like, you get a fat contract like that, you would sign that contract in a heartbeat.
Big time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and again, I think it's a good time to, at some point, right, when it matters, we got to win out, guys. We really got to hit 10-7. We could potentially make the playoffs at 9-8, but you never really know how that's going to play out, right? But man, I just the idea of a clean house kind of feels right, But hey, you never know, guys. In the chat, and what do you guys think, bros? Like, if let's say we win 10-7, Staley makes a playoff, and we win a playoff game, do we keep him?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
My thought is, yeah, they would.
They totally would. Yeah, that's just the way that Spanos family tends to do business.
Yep.
They let them cook as much as they can, and if they're cooking freaking macaroni and cheese with ketchup, they're gonna eat it still. Like
eat it.
I go, this does not taste good, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm hungry.
About it is like if you get that playoff win, that's going to be major. To be honest, there's even a side if you think about it. Just as in the Telesco era as a GM, even if they got to the playoffs and had a competitive game, might even keep them there because look, Telesco's only had 3 or 2 wins I think it's 2 wins as a GM in his 11 years of being here. Like, even if it shows more competitiveness, it's not going to be a bad thing. And, really Brandon Staley essentially has been to the playoffs his first 2 years. Yeah. One actually playoffs. The Raiders-Charger game essentially was a playoff game his first year. Yeah. So, dude, if it did happen, I sound crazy. Talking about this, but hey, the guy's been competitive. I think it's just they have to figure something out with the defense. They got to support Herbert better on that side of the ball.
It's crazy, yeah. And, like we showed you those slides, right? They're playing way off coverage. They're not tackling great, like just across the board. And, guys, this is a Super Bowl team. We're going to win it, okay? That's the plan, guys.
Hey, hey, don't do that. Don't
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go there.
Don't give me hope. No.
Update real quick on the Titans Colts game. Update real quick here on Titans Colts. So it looks like the Titans are up now 3 points late in in overtime.
And
28-25. They have 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in this game. So that's a big one, guys. That's a big one for us. Like, once again, guys, I know it sounds weird to talk about the playoffs. Last year, remember, we were 6-6. And no, we were 5-6 going into that Dolphins game, I believe.
Yep.
And we found a way to win that. And we just had that late, December type run. And you never know where it's going to go from here, guys. Yep. If you're going to say a positive right now, the defense has actually looked pretty good in the last 2 weeks. Yep. Now we have only given up 10 points on average for the last 2 weeks now. So
pretty good, guys.
Hey, we got a shutout. Probably the first one I could think of in Brandon Staley's era against a bad team. But, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, and Herbert does have to be better. He's been okay. But it sucks when he has to be perfect, guys.
100%.
When there's zero running game. Dude, it was so frustrating. I'm like, what are we even running the ball for, guys? Like, do a screen then or something. Like, so dumb. Yeah. So bad.
But the thing is that you can't rely on any football player on your team to play a perfect game. It's like virtually impossible.
Yeah.
It's truly a team game at this point. Like, Herbert is obviously an elite quarterback. He is one of those guys. There's even people talking about maybe we don't think that guy is actually that elite than we all talk about. I mean, the stats say one thing, but yes, elite quarterbacks do make their money when they find those late fourth quarter drives and make it happen. And, that's kind of been a fault a lot, which is, once again, I'm going to throw that as a knock on Kellen Moore. He doesn't scheme up things very correctly when it's really necessary. He's kind of blows it in the late fourth quarter, which, once again, not every player on the field, 11 men on the field for you is going to play perfect every time, but it seems like it's a very constant theme, those late fourth quarter type drives, that we get a sack and that's it. Or they sack us and they pressure us and we scramble all over the field and we don't make it happen.
Yeah. So, as far as coaches that I like defensively, I kind of like Dan Quinn. He's been a coach, head coach also. But again, you have to ask yourself this question, right? Like, who would his offensive guy be? And I would rather have an offensive head coach,
right?
To just work with with Justin Herbert 100%, right? And not have a defensive head coach. So that would be my take. That's kind of why I do like Ben Johnson, but who knows, right? Yeah. And I know everyone says not another rookie head coach. I get it. I totally get it, but yeah, we'll see.
See, that's just the thing. I was doing a little bit of research on that stuff too. So Bill Belichick actually started with the Patriots when he was about 50 something years old, prior to taking the job with the Patriots, he was with the Browns. And I think one other team as a head coach.
With the Jets one day.
One day. Wow.
Yep.
One day. And then I think he ended up getting traded or something like that, or something that happened at that point. No, he got traded from the Browns, didn't he? Wasn't it? Yeah, I think he got traded from the Browns.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was on the Jets for one day, basically.
I think he was on the Jets as a coordinator for a while too, though. It wasn't.
Wouldn't be surprised.
It wasn't. Not as a head coach.
Oh my gosh!
Colts,
Indiana. They're right there on the line.
Oh, deep ball, straight up, boom!
Snap.
Whoa! Wow. Gardner Minshew, dude.
Eesh.
Cleaning house is imminent. Cleaning house is imminent.
Pittman? Pittman got that catch too. Wow.
Yeah.
That's for my fantasy team against Kyle, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, no, that's Pierce. No. That was Pierce. My bad.
Oh, never mind. Kevin, I need to come out there, man. Oh, geez. We were just there in San Diego.
Yeah.
We went to SeaWorld, the whole deal, man, over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we met some fans there too at SeaWorld too.
So you're telling me there's a chance, right? Come on. We got a 12% chance,
I would be interested to know what the percentage is now. I would assume it probably went up 10%, 7% or something like that. Really the whole thing about it is, and I know we're sitting here talking about playoffs, so we sound kind of like that meme or that coach, Colts coach, playoffs.
You want to talk about playoffs?
Playoffs.
Hey, but you know what? I said, there's still a chance. And like I said too, is that look, I can only imagine how the Giants fans felt when they squeaked into the playoffs at 9-6 at that time, 9-7, and they ended up playing against the undefeated Patriots at that year.
Yep.
It's anything's possible, guys. I do want to hold on to a little bit of hope, but I also don't because man, look at this team. Yeah, look how they're playing. Well, it's just
it's inconsistent. Well, and Larry brings up a good point. What do you guys think of the outcome of the challenge Staley did earlier on today? Yeah. So if you guys don't know what he did,
with the tip.
Yeah.
The what?
With the tip?
Yeah, the tip pass.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Oh, the challenge.
Challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what was your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, it was interesting. I didn't realize that was part of the rule, is that because it tipped, the ball was contacted at the line.
Yep.
That, the play that the corner was having against the receiver, that was actually going to make a difference. I didn't realize that was a thing until now. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that I didn't know that either, and that's something that you learn while watching the game. But it's pretty amazing to be able to see. It looks like the Colts just got a touchdown too. So game over.
Did. Yep.
The Colts won it. Colts won it. But going back to that challenge, that was a smart challenge by Brandon Staley.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, we lost James there.
Bolt bro down.
Bolt bro down. Yeah, I think Okay, we're accepting applications for another Bolt Bro.
So if you wanted to get into the chat, just tell us your age, sex, location, who your favorite player is. We're taking applications for the next Bolt Bro. So I think the Staley they pulled the plug on him, so they got into the stream.
Dude, I can't believe Shane Steichen is just killing it over at the Colts right now, and it's freaking unbelievable. And we've had so much. See, here's the other thing too. In my opinion, the Chargers in general need to figure out what we have in house, right? And we always talk about somebody else we're bringing in, dude. Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Riverboat Ron. The list goes on and on with how many people have been coaches for the Chargers, and we've let them walk, and they've had amazing careers elsewhere.
Right.
So I don't know. I sometimes get a little frustrated, kind of like the Padres. The Padres elevated their head coach. He was a head coach for the Cardinals for a long time, but he was brought up, and we'll see what he can do. Right. I don't know. I get a little frustrated with this whole conversation sometimes. Oh, yes, he did. He did have a winning record against Manning. And it was and he was playing on a torn ACL, which is absolutely crazy, guys. Oh
that
my
game
god,
was so wild, man! That was such a crazy game.
I mean, he was an absolute Iron Man. Yeah, he really was tough as nails, man. But I mean, hey, we got a quarterback who's just as tough as nails too, just as tough. Yeah. Played all last year with broken rib, and broke his shoulder during the last couple games or whatever. So it's like, yeah, man. You can't ask for anything more. He's got that juice.
Yep. It's pretty crazy to think about for sure. I know. I was actually just looking at some highlights of Quentin Johnston on the other. I was thinking about bringing it in. Ron Rivera. A lot of people keep talking about him. I don't know, man. Who knows? Who knows, guys?
I don't know, what's going to happen with him in Washington, So I think, honestly, we should do a video about that. I think we really should do maybe a top 10, maybe a top 5 choices for the Chargers to, take the job, as head coach, something like that. And then we should also do for GMs as well. So let's do some, because we talk about the head coach a lot, but we're not talking about the GM enough. Who can be the next GM for the Chargers? Because clearly, Tom Telesco ain't it.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't go out. He's not aggressive either, right? He's not going out there and doing a whole lot, right? He kind of has this, water cooler guy mentality, man.
Yeah.
And he's just there.
And I saw a video kind of resurface this, maybe this past week. It was talking about Tom Telesco. His philosophy is in building the team in the draft as opposed to free agency.
Yeah.
And so and clearly we've seen that, but the results just haven't been there from the draft, at all. I don't know if we saw that one other statistic showing all the players that he drafted over the years.
Yeah.
I think maybe about 10 out of all those players have stayed with the team.
Yeah.
I'm running out of air here. I'm getting frustrated.
Well, but again, but the only argument, and guys in the chat, what do you think about this, right? It's not just Tom Telesco, right? You got the whole scouting team, you got the head coach, you got the offensive defensive coordinator, special teams,
right?
And the scouting group, and then Telesco makes the call, right? And so, it's a decision by committee, right? And then how much of the Spanos is getting involved too, right? You never know. So that's why I have a hard time with blaming it all on Telesco, but
sure,
he's been there 11 years and it hasn't worked out. So I mean, at that point, it's like, all right, well, let's go get a hustler. Let's go get somebody to do something. But John and him, they best buds, right? So sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And unfortunately, he knows John Spanos, and so we'll see.
Yeah, the whole thing too. Drafting is completely a crapshoot at this point. You can't say this guy's going to be the next dude. Basically getting Justin Herbert was kind of, it just fell in our lap at that point. I always think what if Tua was there? Would they end up going for Tua or not? Or was Justin Herbert their guy completely? So, the thing about it is if you're batting 1,000 basically for every pick, you're an absolute stud, and Hall of Fame numbers in Major League Baseball is 300 basically.
Yeah.
And so if you could get 1 out of 3, basically, you're solid. You're solid.
One thing I will say too, though, the Chargers clearly did a good job of getting people on the waiver wires, right?
Yeah.
Bassey's out there.
Bassey's doing
Hankins, good. Hollins got a sack today. So, we're building this team as the season is still progressing. But it's like, dude, you should have had this figured out a while ago, right? And so, it's just crazy. So there's just a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is that you could even go out there and say Zach Ertz is out there right now. It's free on the wire right now. You could just go sign him right now if you want.
And for dirt cheap, probably too.
Yeah, and you can get him for cheap. I mean, the guy's a vet. The guy's a pretty good tight end. I mean, I know he wants to probably go back to the Philly or something like that, and to these teams that he could potentially, thrive with, have a deep playoff run. Yeah, get a championship. I get it, but the thing about it is that's why you build up teams to get to this point, so you could pick up guys like that late in the year, and that's a GM doesn't do that. Like with Tom Telesco, he's almost like, okay, guys, this is the time that we could sign guys, and then when we sign them, that's who we're running with for the season, and that's it. We don't look to try to make any moves at all. It's really, really kind of a frustrating thing to see that not having an aggressive GM is kind of killing your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The argument though is that offensively, it's very difficult for them to pick up the offense. Defensively, same thing as well too. We all been talking about it, but hey, look at this. Guys off waiver wire are playing right now. And they're playing better than the people that we started with this season. So it's okay. Are they? Who's stupid then? Who's the bad player? Right? I'm confused. Right? So it's a very mixed message in my opinion. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? And Kyle, you're gonna say something too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just the fact that Tom Telesco doesn't really do much trades midseason, really bothers me. It always had. He just sits there on the couch, just kind of just waiting as draft day comes closer and closer, and just doesn't make any moves. I mean, that's with a team like ours where we get injuries all the time. You have to keep some of the cap available for the year in order to, figure it out. It's like, okay, we need another new wide receiver.
This was our busted nut year, dude. This is it. This was our busted nut year. This is it.
Oh yeah,
I know, dude. It is. It is. I mean, because all the contracts were extended for one more year. This was it, and we took our shot, and it didn't work. Right? She ain't pregnant yet. She ain't pregnant. So, but that's my point, right? This was it. You can't continue on with what they have salary cap wise. So it's not going to go anywhere.
Right. And it was basically we've talked about that really early on. It's it's almost like Tom Telesco was kind of screwing up the whole cap situation just to give the Chargers the middle finger as he's going out the door,
Well, it's also his last effort to keep his job also, right?
Yeah, right.
And it's the same with Brandon Staley. So now you say, great, we got to keep everybody together. And again, Bill Belichick, do you really want him here? The deficit that we're going to be dealing with? I don't really want Bill Belichick just because I don't like the guy. I just think, I don't know, there's something about him I don't like. But,
Well, that's and the big thing about Belichick is that he's 71 years old, second oldest head coach in the league. How many more years are really going to get out of him? Yeah. Even if he came over, would you get 5 years out of him? Would you get 3 years out of him? Would you get basically a Urban Meyer situation where he just completely torpedoes your team in less than a year? Yeah. Who knows? I mean, the thing is, though, that I have a hard time. Belichick knows great in-game situations, and I think he did a good job of kind of showing that a little bit in this game. Pick on basically pick on Dean Leonard in the game because, he's a new guy out there running around. He's a rookie, essentially, he's not a rookie right now, but, he's out there trying to figure it out and, pick on that guy. Same thing with Bassey. Pick on Bassey, too. Pick on the guys that really basically aren't like the guys that have been out there for so long. All around, I think it's just Belichick would be an interesting one, but you really don't know who Belichick is. I mean, right now you see Belichick as, it was Tom Brady that made Belichick. Would Justin Herbert be Tom Brady? Who knows? I don't know. And how long does he really, really want to stay engaged as a coach? Who knows?
Yeah. I think he's probably going to retire. But, who knows? I mean, I don't know the dude, right? I still think that webcam is hilarious. The ring camera, him with his shirt off, walk of shame. I could probably pull that up. It's pretty dang hilarious. Will we trade down? I kind of hope we do, man. I feel like there's a lot of players. This team needs to get young pretty fast, So I did watch an interesting video when we talk about draft picks, and it was something I was going to do a while ago. But basically, this guy statistically broke down draft picks and like how valuable is the first pick all the way down.
I saw that one. Yeah, really good.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, I think I may have sent it to you guys as well too. Anyways, but it's pretty interesting. And ultimately, what they say it's a crapshoot, right? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
but they did say that the NFL values the first round draft pick like 5 times more.
It was like crazy.
Yeah, than the second round. It's like, I mean, if that's the case, then let's get like 5 times the value out of the first round draft pick. You know, our team needs to get young fast, and we need it spread out, and cheaper fast too. So like, I guarantee we can find a whole bunch of gems at the second round.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have, I would do that. In fact, I was in favor of doing that even last year. Straight out of 21.
I think we all were.
Like I love the idea because I just felt like there was a lot of other players that we could have gone after. A couple linemen, a couple, because I mean, look at the wide receivers. Even after 21, I mean, Puka Nacua, what, 4th round or 5th round, whatever the hell he was.
Yeah.
I knew he would be good though. He's a good route runner for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's even to say like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like when he got drafted, it was like 4th round for him. We could have had Trey Pitt, or we could have not drafted Trey McKitty and got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Think of how different this team would be if you did something like that. You could, and Keenan Allen was a 3rd round pick too, just to throw that out there too. So like you could find these wide receivers deep in the game that are great. Max Crosby, 4th round pick for the Raiders. Like,
I'm a big fan of getting more than a few picks, right? And again, if you trade some players away, let's say we traded Bosa, we traded Williams away. We get maybe a 5th and maybe a 6th or something like that. That's just more picks that we just keep getting to stack up, right? And that's a good thing. It's a very good thing, right? So I don't know. Maybe you could take the 6th and rotate it up to a 3rd or something, or not a 3rd, 5th or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, let's think of this. So check this out. So 2 of our second round draft picks that have been the most successful, since 2000. One was Eric Weddle. Amazing. He was good, and it was unfortunate that we had to let him go at some point, and they just kind of let him walk. They didn't even really call him up. Tom Telesco was just that much of a weasel about it. He just he just let him walk. And then guess who else was a second round draft pick? Actually, technically, Drew Brees. Was a second round draft pick. Who actually was the last person to beat the Patriots today? So
that's pretty amazing.
Talk about bringing that on point. So look, second round draft picks can be just as valuable as a first round draft picks.
Right.
So
if you look at what Tuli Tuipulotu right now, he's a second round pick stud. Dude, if you actually even going back even further, go to Nwosu. He was basically a second round pick too. There's critical second round base picks out there. I want to say Jalen Hurts might have even been a second round pick too.
No, Jalen.
I want to say he was.
Yeah, he was at the very end of the first round or something.
I don't know, man. I remember.
Let's look it up. Look it up.
Look right now.
So Steve Ballmer, Jeff Bezos. Can they both buy it? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, that'd be funny if Ballmer did because he's got the stadium next door too. Yep, second round pick 52 for Jalen Hurts.
Yes, second round, pick 21. Wow.
Oh, it's the end of the second round, not the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was middle of the second round.
Middle of the second round.
Towards the end, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, and you bring up a really good point too. Yeah, Purdy was one of the last picks.
Right? He was Mr. Irrelevant.
So here's the thing, and Belichick has done a good job with the defense, which is good. Now I'll say this. In the NFL, it really is about scheme. That's why you can really put. Again, Sean Merriman said it best last week. When we played our pregame, and when he talked about why this team is not losing, we have a lot of talent, and we're not performing. That is on Staley because he brought it in. He sat on Spanos' lap and said, "You go buy me all this, and we're gonna win." J.C. Jackson's a bust. He almost got an interception against us today. Those are the things that he's done wrong, right? And again, that's also Tom Telesco too. So I mean, it's tough. But again, it's going to be tough. It'll be interesting to see. And whoever comes in is going to have to deal with some shit pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Yep. No, most definitely. I mean, once again, everybody's talking about, Kellen Moore, I'm with you, HH4. I'm not a big fan of Kellen Moore in the sense of being a head coach. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's good enough as an offensive coordinator, in my opinion. I don't think he's lighting things up like he should. We're playing just enough good football, just enough to potentially get there, but a lot of the times not closing it out. And, Harbaugh, Dan, like, I'm on board with Harbaugh. It's just, I think it's going to really dictate about what happens for the national championship for him. And also the suspension that potentially could happen. I hear like rumors that it could be a year-long suspension for him.
Yeah.
Does he want to deal with that? Like, I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, see you, dude. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like
fine. Let me walk.
I don't want to deal with it. Like,
hey,
I mean, that's the same thing Pete Carroll did.
He's still going to probably get paid by the, Michigan too, though, right? So he'll be double dipping. So he'll be like, all right. It's like, okay, I'm going to go sign with someone else, get paid a little bit there. Maybe like he'd even do the first year as a bit of a discount for whatever team he goes to, because maybe there's some rules against double dipping or something like that. Probably not, though. Just kudos to him. But I would say, like, I mean, Kellen Moore as an interim head coach would be fine, which I'm totally on board with that. That'd be fine. Like, okay, fine. Just let him kind of learn what it's like to be a head coach for a little bit, and then of course, then hand it over to somebody else. Because head coach is a horrible job. I would never want it. Because like you got every single fan out there for every team believes that they are a better coach than the current coach.
Yep.
Yeah. So it still is kind of funny that we are talking about firing Staley when we
after a win.
After a win, guys.
Yeah. Well, okay, it was an ugly win. And like, I understand a win is a win, but like, look, we played like one of the worst teams in the NFL, and like like our defense, held them to 0 points, which is good. Don't mind that, but now our offense is not doing hardly anything. Our special teams won the game, so
yeah, I know it's tough. It's a tough conversation, but it's a conversation everybody's having now, even after the win. I mean. Even to say like our live stream, you kind of feel like a lot of people are pretty disengaged from this team at this point.
Right.
And you kind of look at it and you're like, it's a fair amount of people, but it ain't the same when it's a big loss of some sort. It ain't the same.
Yeah. So, Herbert on any of those teams, pretty crazy. And Kyle, where'd you get that Charger sweater?
I was just about to write in the check. Yeah, I got this. Was it like a couple of years ago on the Charger store? So yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's great, man. It still works. It's awesome. Heck that's yeah! I love this sweater. It's amazing.
There we go. J.K. Scott and Alex Erickson got a game ball. Very cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
And by the way, Alex Erickson, dude, guys, I'm thinking that. Well, I mean, if this team is still together, offense, with the coordinators and such, but I think Alex Erickson's probably going to be here to stay. At least Herbert seems to like him. So and that was a depressing win, Kyle. Yeah, it was a win, but whatever, By the way, so I would say this, and this is probably a good question. Was our defense good? Yes, I think it was. We were actually a lot better. We did play better. Yeah. Still a little soft at times, and the Pats offense is very bad. But the defense for the Pats is very good. I think they were only allowing 13 points a game or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Pretty low. And so made our offense look bad. Plus it was a crappy day. It was cold, rainy, hard to throw the ball, so it was that's exactly how they wanted the game to be, guys. They wanted it to be just sloppy and ugly, and one play wins the game, and that's it. So
and we knew that, I don't know, honestly, like we knew that it needed to be a run the ball type of ground and pound kind of game, but I mean, I don't know anyone who would have expected our running offense to pick up speed at all, Like it's I don't know if necessarily the line or if it's just that Eckler's just sandbagging it, which he probably very well is.
Well, my thought was put Kelly in there, man. He looked better.
Kelly definitely did look better. Just
he was fighting for yards.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, and by the way, Erickson's probably going to be getting more snaps. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I was going to say something a little bit about just how like the sloppiness of this game and the unevenness of the offense, pass to run. the thing about it is we do a lot of delayed or like option-based type runs.
Yeah.
And we need to start doing a little bit more. Earlier in the season, I felt like we did a lot of tight end based blocking, runs where it's like, like, I don't know, slow feet don't eat, right? And like,
right.
if you have these delayed based runs, you're just trying to find a hole somewhere to hit that hole kind of thing versus like have a guy in front of you that could create a hole for you and just block that guy so you could run the outside or run the inside or whatnot. Add that second blocker to the scheme versus having these stupid little like delayed based type runs. And it's frustrating to watch every time. Like literally that last drive where it was the first call was a run. I was like, they're going to get -2 yards.
Yeah.
They got -2 yards. The next run, you got 1 yard. Okay, you're still -1 yard at this point. So what do you have to do on a 3rd and 11? You just bomb the ball out, which is like the second time this year we've done that for some reason, and it's worked out. And we ended up winning a game that route. It's just maddening to watch that. And I get it and understand, like, they had 2 timeouts. You're trying to get them to not use their timeouts, but hoping and praying that a 3rd and 11 deep ball pass is going to actually go the way you expect it to go to is kind of really just, basically hanging on or basically living on a prayer. Living on a prayer.
There you go. There you go.
It's just like,
don't quit your day job, James.
Hey, my day job doesn't require singing. We're good. We're good.
Well, thank God it doesn't, because you nailed on a chalkboard is what that is, bro.
I'm a fantastic karaoke guy. No problem. No problem.
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, Chargers.
Okay, that was pretty loud. Okay, so who should we keep on the O line? I don't know, dude. I think our O line's fine. I would just say, maybe get a better center. That'd probably be the one.
Center.
Maybe Pipkins.
Center and right tackle is the biggest needs. I feel like,
But I mean, Pipkins has been okay. He's been okay. Not
it's
great.
Good, not great. Yeah.
And Will Clapp has been good, not great, right? So
yeah. Well, I mean, that's also a concern that we need to talk about as well, because I know Slater, he's coming up on his contract, right? Or do we have to sign him this year, or is it next year?
I think it's this year.
Slater, I think it's next year.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Slater got drafted in 2021. Are you talking about Slater, right?
Yeah. Okay,
he
yeah,
got drafted in 2021.
Rashawn. Not
Rashawn Slater.
Yep.
Yeah. Rashawn Slater. Yeah, he's got another year under his rookie contract, so he's not even in. He'll be going into his 4th year.
So we'll probably do a 5th year option on him. Do you think?
Yep.
Yeah,
probably. I'm pretty positive we will.
Yeah, and that'll be like $30 million straight there too.
And defense when they play poor offenses, being a worse defense, it's just very, very inconsistent. By the way, this is an option, moving Zion to center. Right now, Hymus is the backup center. But I kind of like the idea of Zion moving to center. He's a smart dude, man.
He's a smart guy, yeah. So, but then again, moving him, like they already did move him, and he's not been doing super well in that new position as well, because he used to be, he was on the right side, but now he's on the left side, and he's doing good, not great, on that left, other side now. So.
Well, and we also have Jordan McFadden too, who I think in training camp did actually play a little bit of center. I mean, that guy's a big dude too, and he did come from Clemson. Like, I like it when guys come from bigger schools. I feel like they just have a different mentality. So I mean, and Larry A just brought it up. What position can Jordan McFadden play? And like, I think he could be a good dude out there,
up and down the line.
Yeah, he played up and down the line at Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so he's good.
I think they do have him listed as a guard/center. So, kind of multi-talented, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Steve Murdoch is saying that the Cardinals are destroying the Steelers right now.
Nice.
I mean,
good,
dude. I mean, any given week, guys, like that's literally it. Like the Cardinals have been a team that have been kind of in it and just can't find a way to finish somewhere or another. Yeah. And that's. The Steelers are kind of a mess offensively, and defensively they're good, but they just offensively can't score, and that's the problem to them. My buddy, I'm going to chat with him actually after that game, and he's going to just say, "Fire everybody, get rid of everybody. Mike Tomlin's the worst."
Oh yeah, probably.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's amazing. I would take him over anybody right now.
And he's never won Coach of the Year. which is incredible to me.
Yeah,
it's incredible to me.
Yeah. So next season, why not move Slayer back to tackle? You never know, right? Who's even going to be our head coach next season, right? I mean, the whole conversation, right? So, well, I'll probably do a, reaction, final thoughts video. Look, that was ugly. We got a W. Again, the videos that I'm doing, breaking down footage, I'll probably just make shorts out of that. That'll be a little easier than doing the longer form stuff. So you guys will see that once the all 22 is available. So you want to do some final thoughts? We wrap up.
Yeah, most definitely. I could actually do it here. Timmy actually had a comment here that I think would be kind of something good to talk about. He says, I don't understand you guys saying that Herbert hasn't looked amazing last game or this game. Yes, he has all the drops and not running in the right route are not on him. I don't get the talking heads. Yeah, we are talking heads here. But, once again, the thing about it is like we expect more out of Justin Herbert. We expect him to be that guy, being able to throw 3 touchdowns and everything. Yes, drops are not on him. But the offense is not really moving very well. Is that a knock on Herbert for not having the guys catch the ball? Not really, because that's not his job. His job is to get the ball to the receivers and make them catch the ball. Is it on him that, Austin Eckler fumbled the ball or, Keenan Allen fumbled the ball? No, that's not on him. He's there to throw the ball and make them catch it. So the thing about it is like, to me, it's Kellen Moore. Like Kellen Moore is not putting them in the best situations to really get this offense going. It should be a much more higher grossing based offense. We should not only just have 6 points on the board. We should probably have a much better run game, but we're not. And everybody at this point is just kind of being looked at. Justin Herbert's that dude. We know that. We know he's that dude. I just think we need to see this offense really, really get rolling. And that's why we're being critical about it. A win is a win, regardless. 1 point, 6 points, whatever amount of points, 40 points or whatever it is. But we just expect more from him. I mean, Justin Herbert's that guy. But, it takes a full team to be able to make that happen and make him look good too. So,
and again, that was a nice rant. There we go. So, listen to the part where you're talking about, Herbert, I mean, look, he's looked okay. But again, Quentin Johnston's dropped the ball. Overall, the offense has looked bad, right? I guess that's what everyone's saying.
Yep.
And by the way, we have the 30th worst offensive line in the league on passing and rushing, right? So it is hard for Herbert to be good. So Herbert has looked as good as he possibly. I mean, let me say this way: as bad as the pass protection has been, it would be a lot worse with another quarterback, right? He would be sacked a ton, yada yada, right? Herbert uses his feet to stay, there. So that's a good thing. So again, bottom line, it was a win. It is what it is, but unfortunately, it's one of those situations where could have gone a different way. It's, hey, we got the W, man, but we got to win more. We got to win more. And that's about it. So yeah. Last thoughts there, Kyle?
Well, yeah, Timmy just say he's going in. It's funny. I mean,
Herbert's been fine. We're just saying that the whole team also hasn't been playing well.
Right.
And the coaching needs to put them in the right positions to be successful.
Right.
I think what James was trying to get at is that, Kellen Moore is doing the same ridiculous little run plays that aren't working, avoiding things that have worked in the past, right? Some pulling the tight ends, maybe some more motion to the edge.
Yeah.
Those are things that are just the way they're doing it is just really bad. They're not executing correctly. So
not doing it well. I mean, once again, there's 11 men on the field at the same time. 10 people need to do their jobs. And it's very hard to be able to say every person on the field's going to do a perfect job every play. It's very, very difficult. So
no, it's very hard. Yeah. And bottom line is too, is like, I mean, you could really say that really weather affected the game a lot. Herbert had a passer rating of 75 this game. So it's just not good. But, fortunately, Zappy had like a 60 or something like that, So it's like,
he was horrible.
But yeah, I mean, to the point as well, like Herbert is throwing amazing balls. Like he's getting it to where they need to go.
Yep.
But the receivers just aren't catching them. Like that's the problem. It's like,
did you just say Herbert has amazing balls?
Yes, he does have amazing balls. Like,
okay.
Wow.
Yes. So, anyways, I mean, my biggest thing is we won the game, but it was ugly as hell. Like this is not good at all. Like, I mean, how did we do so poorly against one of the worst teams in the league right now? Like, we should have been putting it should have been 21-0 easily.
Yeah, we should have at least had 2 more touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's just there's like it was weird. I'm like, what is going on here? And So again, guys, look, this team could go a lot of different ways. I think I'm gonna give you a little preview of what I'm gonna say probably tomorrow when I recap it. I don't even know where this team goes. Like, where does this team go? We could literally ascend and actually play like a team we thought they were going to play all season, or we could just go to the crapper and just go, all right, we're tanking the rest of the season for a better pick. I don't know. I mean, it's really weird. It's such a weird, inconsistent team, and that's the frustrating part for sure.
Yep, no doubt.
But I mean, I'm gonna just say it though. Like, I mean, I'm losing a lot of hope though. Like of where the team can go. Like, I mean, because clearly the team has to win every single game from here on out, and that is literally like pushing a rock uphill. It's like, are we like if we are an archetype of a story, are we Sisyphus, where we are just the team that is constantly pushing that rock up the hill to never be able to get it all the way up there?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think at some point we're gonna win. So
well, we got the quarterback for it too, right? And I think that's the conversation, right? And that's why the NFL, if you look at the ESPN rankings, we're still like 10th in the league, which is ridiculous. And it's because of Justin Herbert and his respect, not because of anything else, So, well, a lot to discuss, guys. Again, maddening, like the weirdest, non-most exciting win we've ever had in our entire podcast. Like, wow, that was like literally the most boring thing I've ever experienced in my whole life.
It was a great baseball game.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
Like, well, whatever. Okay, I guess we won. Whatever. No, but guys, hey, we're here to chat, so we're gonna throw some more content out for you as well. And as always, thank you for joining us. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys. Let's go.
Let's go.